How's it going, guys? It is David Clayton from KZR Racing again, and welcome to my preview build before F1 23 My Team Career Mode here on F1 22 for this preview build. I'm going to go through all the ins and outs of the My Team here because, well, from all the previews that I've seen and all the information released, there hasn't really been any changes to My Team career mode in general, aside from the new game having a better handling model from what I've heard from most of the other F1 YouTubers around. So it's going to be pretty much samey. So I'm going to go through all the ins and outs of My Team here on F1 22, just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be looking to do and potentially how it's going to affect my time in F1 23 as a whole. So the likelihood is when you go into My Team career mode, you'll be met with this screen again, which is newcomer, midfield challenger and championship contender. They're all pretty much speak for themselves. The main thing you'll notice as I scroll through, the entry chosen affects your starting resources. Newcomer, no cash, no resources in the factory, and very little acclaimed. But as you go up, you'll have 6 acclaimed for midfield challenger, 5 million starting dollars, and you'll have 1 on the facilities, on the factory symbol, and of course championship contender. You'll have 2 on the factory level 2 on the factory facilities, 10 million and 16 acclaimed. This may be altered for F1 2023, but this will give you pretty much an idea of where you're going into. But the likelihood is, as is with everyone, we'll be doing a new career as a newcomer and going straight into the full season. Now, before using recommended settings, you'll have the custom settings as well. So if you go in here, you'll obviously see the weekend structure. Practice format will always be full. You can choose whichever qualifying. I always go for the full qualifying. The top 10 shootout's always good fun should you get in there. And then the session length, obviously short, medium and long, and full. The full is obviously 100% race. Long will be 50%, but we also have 35% races in F1 23, which is probably what we'll be doing, just to save on a bit of time, and it'll give us a little bit more flexibility with the strategies as opposed to the 50% races, which can drag on a little bit, especially if you have a dull race where nothing's really happening. And 25% races, they're a bit too short in all honesty. So we'll be probably selecting the 35% races, but the main thing we will be looking at is the career settings. So you obviously have your driver moves and everything will be switched on, but here's what we're going to be messing around with. It's going to be the rate of player and AI in regards to the player acclaim, team acclaim, resources, and cash rate. Now, we can just go super easy or super hard on this one because you can change the rate in which either the player or the AI gains its acclaim, resource, and cash to make it easier or difficult on yourself by increasing it, leaving it as standard across the board. So you'll leave it standard across the board if you're just like getting into it for the first time. But those of us who want to try and find a balance, you'll probably leave your player acclaimed and everything on default and go increased on the AI settings. But if you really want the challenge, you'll reduce all the player settings and increase all the AI settings if you really want to go super hard and just make it very, very difficult to compete against the AI and really work to get your team up to the front of the field. You can also, what we will be doing is upping the fault frequency and the fault types to maximise the chances of mechanical failures for all cars on the field, just to make it a little bit spicy for all the cars on the field, not knowing when you can have a mechanical failure. And that will be on this scene, and obviously you'll get the also enable My Team icons. You can skip this because you can just press skip on this because you won't want to bring in a new icon as a newcomer because you can't really afford it, but you can skip and then turn the My Team icons on at a later date. So from there on, you get the option of going through all the ins and outs of creating your player, which all speaks for itself. You can change his look, country and region, name, his audio name that the commentator's saying, of course, the driver number, and then the clothing, obviously race suit, gloves, and your podium celebration, your victory radico, all that stuff. But this is the main part for what we're doing here. The actual setting up of the team in My Team. So you'll get all these bits and pieces here. The first stuff is the primary sponsor. Now again, looking at all these title sponsors, they all have their own individual achievements, their goals that you need to reach, and the gold bonus that you'll get paid at the end of the season, plus your weekly income for said sponsor. Now, again, you can make this really hard or really easy on yourself, because as a newcomer, this starting bonus is all you have to work with in regards to not only choosing your engine supplier, but also your teammate. So whatever you pay for, whatever sponsor you get here, this signing bonus right at the bottom is what's going to pay for both of the engine and teammate that you're going to provide. So you can, like I said, you can make it really easy and just go for a complete season, but you're going to have to really compromise on your engine and your teammate, or you can go all the way to the top, earn the maximum you can, and try and get the best engine and teammate possible. So you can have a decent shot at moving up the field more quickly. It's a gamble that you have to take. So we will move on to the engine supplies. These, again, the stats on here are not representative of what they will be in F1 2023, but they are the performance, durability, and the cost of the power units are pretty much the same reflection of what they are here. Renault still done a bit dirty because they were a lot better than what it says here in 2022 and 2023 for that matter. Their engine's a lot better than what it seems. Ferrari is going to be the best on performance again, as was in 2022, but as again, the durability, not so much. Red Bull, the Red Bull powertrains, or the Honda, basically, is what it is. More balanced across the board. It's the same performance. Well, it's going to be more performance than Mercedes and just shy of Ferrari, but the durability is going to be more there for Red Bull. And then, obviously, Mercedes is not the best engine. Not going to be the best engine. I think it's the third best engine in F1 2023, but it will have the highest durability of all these engines, yet still costs the most. I think that's more the prestige of Mercedes being like 7-time constructors champions in a row. That's the thing. Do you want a powerful engine that's going to brake more consistently? Do you want a more balanced engine, or an engine more focused on durability so you can focus solely on performance? Or do you want to, again, make a challenge for yourself and take the worst engine up to the top? And also, being the cheapest engine, Renault, that will give you more cash towards a better teammate. Now, these drivers will change. These are not drivers, all the same drivers that will be in F1 2023. Dan Titton definitely won't be. But you'll probably have these selections you see here. They won't all be the same for everyone. You'll get they'll all be randomised to a specific set of drivers depending on who you sign. So as that's pretty much the choices that you will have there. And again, you'll see here on the livery. The livery editor again. Codemasters, I don't know if they've been shackled by EA. I kind of hope they haven't, because the livery editor is going to be pretty much the same as in F1 23 as it is here in F1 22. which is a shame. I think a proper like custom livery editor that like you get on Need for Speed will be much more beneficial, particularly for those like myself who are on console. We don't have access to the PC modding yet. It'll be a lot better, but I think what I hope Cody's have done just for this year focused on the better handling model and the breaking point storyline, and they're not following the EA guidelines of like what EA have done with FIFA. They just don't touch career mode at all. They just get to a certain point and then just leave it there. It's something that I really hope doesn't happen, and I hope we can hope we see more in 2024 in regards to like upgrades to my team, like different features and all the livery editor and everything. But it is what it is at the moment with Codemasters bringing this new game out, and everything is as you would expect at the start as you go in. But now, again, another feature of what was going to do when it comes to aiding your team, you will have this interview section at the start of the game with Will Buxton. And this is, depending on the answers to your questions here, it's going to affect what facilities will get a boost straight out of the gate. So if you put all your stock into a particular department, like aerodynamics, chassis, or engine, it's going to have a profound effect on those facilities, and you'll get a boost on to level 1 on one of those facilities from what's going to happen with the team the team in the car moving forward. So as you can see on this one, making the car responsive as possible is one of the main goals. Sim data looks good, but we won't know until we get out on track. We focus heavily on maximising our traction out of the corners. The chassis balance is incredible. So whatever choices from this point on with these question sets, it'll affect the department. Like you see there, we've affected the aerodynamic department with some of these questions. And again, so if you focus all your stock on one department, that department will get all the boost. But it's for depending on how the cars behave in F1 2023, from past experiences with playing F1 My Team Career Mode casually, you want to try and put some stock into not just aero but chassis as well. Those are the main two things that you need to work on for this My Team car. Having a My Team car that's not only very aerodynamically efficient in a straight line, but also having a lighter chassis as well, makes the car not only feel better in the corners, but ultimately faster down the straights as well, without having to focus too much on the engine side of things. So as you can see from this example, if I go over to the facilities, even though, like I said, we focused a lot on the aerodynamics side of things with some of the questions, our final answer has given us level 1 of spec 1 on the chassis for everything. So we have all these things for the chassis, and if we go over to the R&D, with all the questions that we answered beforehand, while we don't have anything on the chassis, everything that we've answered beforehand, we've gotten for everything else. So we got natural upgrades from the power unit supplier, which is Renault in this case. But if you go onto the aerodynamics, if you look at all the stuff here, look, 2 on the drag reduction and 1 on the rear downforce. So we've got 2 key things for the drag reduction, which is what you want at the start, and a little bit on the rear downforce just to help you with the traction out of the corners, which is really important. So from there you then can focus, as you got a little bit of a head start on the aerodynamics, you can then go into the weight reduction settings on the chassis, which is now spec 1, and have more of a chance to get these up to speed. So you've got somewhat of a respectable car in order to challenge for some decent points. So It all depends on what we think about the previous bits with sponsor, engine supplier, and teammate, and then just just a few little bits and pieces to give you a little bit of advantage in the areas that you need for the car. But that's the general gist of what's going to happen in F1 23 My Team Career Mode. I will be uploading episode 1 of this of said My Team Career Mode at 4 o'clock on the 13th of June, UK time. The embargo for from Cody's on the F1 23 game is for 4 o'clock on the release date of the Championship Edition. So we can't upload anything beforehand, but we'll have that up and ready. But for now, guys, do take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do feel free to leave a like and a comment down below, and turn on the notifications and share this video around. It really does help. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another video. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing. I will see you next time for episode 1 of F1 23 My Team Career Mode. Goodbye.